Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn some great vocabulary, so let's get started. Today we're learning these words: gore, gory, gruesome, grizzly, and grisly. Let's look at each one. First, let's look at the word gory. Gory is an adjective. It's a description. It describes something that is very violent and bloody. Example, horror movies. I don't like horror movies. I think they're gory. They're too gory. They have scenes with a lot of blood and violence. That's gory. Use the or sound, like door and floor. Gore, plus the long E. Gory.
You're fascinated by the gory details.
No, really open up. Spill out all the gory details.
Give me, as they say, all the gory details.
Horror movies are too gory for me. I don't like them. What about you? Do you like horror movies? Are they too gory? Very good. And now we have this word, gore. The E at the end is silent. So pronunciation, gore. Make the or sound like floor and more. Gore. Gore is the same idea, but it's a noun. It's a thing. Gore. Example, I don't like horror movies because there's too much gore. It's a noun. Gore is an important word because if you're looking at movies or video games and you want to know why they're made for adults, if you read the explanations of why a movie or a video game is for adults only, they give reasons. And one reason they use is gore. If there's a lot of blood and violence in the movie or in the video game, they'll explain it with this word, gore. Now you know it. So if you see a movie or a video game that has the explanation gore for why it's rated for adults only, don't let your kids watch it. And maybe you don't want to watch it either. I think horror movies are too gory. What do you think? Do you think horror movies are too gory? That's right. Horror movies are too gory. Or I can use gore. I think horror movies have too much gore. What do you think? Do you think horror movies have too much gore? That's right. I think horror movies have too much gore, too much blood and violent images. That's gore. Now let's talk about gruesome and grisly. They mean the same thing. They mean something causing horror. Not necessarily bloody, but something causing horror. Very similar. Let's hear some examples.
These grisly murders can't go on much longer.
Angry hostiles with nothing but this rifle between me and a certain and gruesome death.
I would say if I had to pick a top one, I would say Bar Harbor, the site of the Grizzly McTeague wedding night murders.
New details today in the grisly murders of a local family found earlier this week.
Baker, also known as the Angel of Death, was allegedly responsible for another string of grisly murders 7 years ago at nearby Camp Arawak, which has since closed.
Police are searching for suspects in the grisly murders of noted Malibu County pediatrician Bernard Weber and his wife Ethelene.
His wife Beverly died a gruesome death following an abortion.
Police in Haddonfield have just made the grisly discovery of 3 bodies in the upstairs bedrooms of this house.
A police spokesman told ION News that they've been combing the area since just before dawn and are afraid that their gruesome discovery is just the beginning.
Residents are living in fear as another gruesome discovery has been made.
Later in the hour, we'll have new information on Lowell Orson Lehman and how he planned and carried out the grisly murders in our sleepy town.
4 days ago, in this very hole, a gruesome discovery has shocked our quiet community.
Investigators were shocked to make a gruesome discovery of a dead guard, possibly murdered from the author himself.
Example, he fell in front of a train and he died. So I can say it was a gruesome death, or it was a grisly death. I can use either word. Pronunciation, gruesome. Use the long oo for the first syllable. Oo, like moon and shoe. Grew. Some. The second syllable is a short sound. It's closed. Like up and cup. Some. Some. Together, gruesome. Put the stress on the first syllable. Gruesome. It was a gruesome death. Or I can say grizzly. It was a grisly death. Pronunciation used the short I sound, like this is, grizz. The S is pronounced with the Z sound, like zebra, with vibration, z, grizz. Grizzly. 2 syllables. Not grizzly, but grisly. Lee. The second syllable is the long E like green beans. Lee. Together, grizzly. It was a grisly death. Something causing horror. So the example again. He fell in front of a train and died. It was a grisly death. And I don't want to hear the gruesome details. I can switch the words. It means the same thing. It was a gruesome death, and I don't want to hear the grisly details. Both words mean the same thing. Let's practice. He fell in front of a train and died. Was it a gruesome death? That's right, it was a gruesome death. Do you want to hear the grisly details? That's right, I don't want to hear the grisly details either. Now we have this bear. This bear is called a grizzly bear. It's spelled differently, but it's pronounced exactly the same as the word grizzly, meaning something causing horror. But when I say a grizzly bear, it's not causing horror. The word comes from the word gray. But now we don't use grizzly to talk about the color gray. That's where it comes from. We use the word grizzly to talk about this bear. That's the name of this bear. You can say this is a grizzly bear, or you can eliminate the word bear and just say this is a grizzly. And this one's kind of cute, don't you think? Let's practice. Is the grizzly bear cute or ugly? That's right, this grizzly bear is cute. Let's see another grizzly bear. This grizzly bear is not cute. He's attacking this man. I think he's going to eat the man. If he eats the man, we can say the other word. That is a grisly death. If you are eaten by a grizzly bear, that is a grisly death. So example, he was eaten by a grizzly bear. That was a grisly death. And I don't want to hear the gruesome details. Let's practice. Was he eaten by a grizzly bear? That's right, he was eaten by a grizzly bear. Was it a gruesome death? That's right, it was a gruesome death. Do you want to hear the grisly details? That's right, I don't want to hear the grisly details either. So we see the words gory, gruesome, and grisly are very similar. They describe things that are bloody, violent, things causing horror. And remember, gory is the adjective and gore is the noun. But they both express the same idea, something violent and bloody. And remember the 2 words, grizzly and grisly. They're both pronounced exactly the same, but they mean different things. Grizzly with an S is something that's causing horror. And grizzly with a double Z, that's a bear. Whether it's a cute grizzly bear or a grizzly bear that's eating you, it's the name of the bear. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.